Good morning, everybody. It's been a hot minute. I'm not dead. I did watch some of Sweden in the World Cup yesterday, Norther. They looked very good. Maybe reanimated? That's true. I mean, could you even tell the difference? Could I even tell the difference if I've been reanimated? Philosophy, yeah. Cast my own games? No, I'm not high enough elo to coach. Therefore, I am not a pro player. Oh. What's this build here from MBL? He's gonna go ahead and immediately mill these bunny rabbits. But isn't this just... I guess if he can maintain no idle TC time. Maybe. Lewis also has a little bit of idle time. Anyway, the maps look pretty good. This is a really good map here for Lewis. Gold, forage bushes in the back, 4 wood lines that you can wall very easily. Really hard to argue with this. Meanwhile, for MBL, it's a little bit more awkward, but not bad. Still back gold. Forage bushes are pretty safe as well. It's just the architecture of the wood lines is a bit trickier to wall than it is for Lewis. Lewis is a bit closer to the edge of the map, which helps a lot. Still, not a bad map for either player. In the long ago time, I would say that Lewis even has an FC map for Aztecs, but we don't do that anymore. Unless it's Phosphorus. Yeah, I wonder what MBL has in store. I mean, I guess both of his elephants are also back. So it's not like, I guess he really is too worried about getting lamed, and, you know, it's a ranked game. Maybe Lewis doesn't lame in ranked games. I do not know. A lot of bunny rabbits. Lots of wascally wabbits. But yeah, no lumber camp. Maybe he's going to be looking for a very quick uptime. Like, normally against Aztecs, I would say that doing this was not be the best idea ever, milling the forward rabbits like this. But if you're really not suspecting a drush, or an early drush... I mean, even then, if this was an early drush, the barracks would only just now be coming in. This mill would be a barracks instead. They've already taken a lot of the rabbit meat. Hare meat. I don't know, what is the name for rabbit/hare meat? Like for, you know, birds, it's poultry. For cows, it's beef. For pigs, it's pork. For deer, it's venison. Alright. 3 on wood right now, and looks like he will be going 18 pop with loom, so really not, like, a little bit faster. I would say 19 pop with loom is probably standard. So just a little bit faster. But I'll have a lot of food, for sure. And there's just going to be a scooter bug opening. Durchin's going to want to open scouts whenever they possibly can. They have no other relevant early bonus for opening anything else. I guess you get a little bit of extra food if you want to open for a Men-at-Arm rush, but yeah. Meh. speaking of which, Lewis also did end up milling these hares. So no early barracks. I mean, he's going to be building a barracks right now, but no drushing or men-at-arm rushing, which is a little surprising. Since Aztecs generally like to go aggressive whenever they can. There's the barracks coming in. And MBO will see the timing and probably feel pretty good, knowing that he's not going to be under any super early pressure. He's going to have time to develop those scout numbers. I mean, scouts don't work very well against men-at-arm rush in super low numbers. So that's why if you're up against a drush or like fast men-at-arm rush, you usually want to either have your own version of that, so you can just fight pound for pound, or go fast archers, which actually do work in very low numbers against men-at-arms. But since that's not the case, all good. OMG Hans, what's up? DVA coming in, just now the stable coming in. Yeah, and everything's all fine and dandy. Probably gonna go for a second mill on the forge bushes soon. Meanwhile, Lewis just walling up. There's the archery range. Not in too much of a rush to do anything. Just gets the one spearman out. Hello, Boom. Oh, Spearman does get a poke in. There is now a second man of the spear out. Cheesing my way. I didn't cheese my way back to 2K. I played legit AoE too. I also got a, what was it, Bohemians versus Romans matchup, and then a Celts versus Mayans matchup. Map other than arena? Hey, man. Like, honestly, I'm kind of at the point where it's like, do I want to, like, force myself to play an AoE map I don't really feel like playing? Or do I just play another game? And because I've been playing some other games recently and having fun, it's like, if I can't play Age of Empires the way I want to play it, I'd rather just not play it. Anyway, very nice couple kills there for MBL. Games on stream. I am doing 1999 mode on Bioshock Infinite right now. That's pretty fun. It's a nice challenge. And there's like a Steam achievement for not getting any ammo pickups. Or any... You can't use like the vending machines to get any health or ammo. Yeah, 1999 mode is like the super hard mode. Like, if you lose all your money, you lose. Like, you're kicked out. No, it's not that hardcore. I've only died once. But you lose, like, double the money when you die. Your enemies, there's less ammo, enemies have more health, they deal more damage. You know, all that stuff. But I've just been trying to play smart, and it's been working out pretty well so far. But I have recently went through the entire Bioshock series, and I really, really enjoyed it. Isn't it over? It is! I played Bioshock Infinite once, a long time ago. And then I played it, I kind of like did a co-op thing with my friend once. But I had never gone a full playthrough of the rest of the Bioshock series, so I played through Bioshock 1 all the way through for the first time, Bioshock 2 all the way through, and then I played Bioshock Infinite, and this is my first time doing it on 1999 mode. And oh yeah, it's also the first time I played the expansions, which are really good. I got the whole package for $11. It was like a big sale on Steam, so I thought I'd just go through all of it. Think too hard about the narrative? Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The plot just... I mean, all the time travel stuff is just kind of silly. I think the plot works out perfectly fine up until you start introducing the alternate realities. Then it's like, okay, man. That said, the gameplay is really fluid and fun, and the dialogue is really good with Booker and Elizabeth. I think the first two BioShock games definitely had a better story, and I think the ambiance of Rapture was better. I also really liked BioShock 2's actual, like, combat. But I like smashing stuff with my big drill. Yes, there are 3 BioShock games. No, BioShock Infinite is the 3rd game. Yeah, they definitely had a more coherent setting and story. The maps in BioShock 1 and 2, though, did feel like a little closed off at time, like you're just going from one room to the next room to the next room. And BioShock Infinite definitely did feel a bit more open. Yeah, I thought that Burial at Sea, like, I literally never played it before. I thought it was a really nice way to cap off the storyline with Elizabeth and, I guess, Booker. Oh, also, apparently they're making a 4th one that's going to come out maybe early next year. But yeah, BioShock, love it, love it, love it. Playing MBL? I'm definitely not playing MBL. That would mean I'm Lewis, and I'm definitely not Lewis. Job search is, it's happening. I've been working really hard, doing a bunch of applications. I also had a date this past weekend, which, it was a perfectly lovely evening, but then she's like, I really like you. You know, you're nice and smart and a fun guy to be around. I just don't see myself being romantically involved with you. It's like, oh. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Smarmier? I don't know about that. There's really only one version of me. I'm kind of a dork, in case you couldn't tell. And I'm a little bit awkward. She was actually even more awkward and shy than I was, though. But of course, it's like an hour drive each way. Oh. Well, getting back. Oh, thanks, Puppy Saturation. At least dinner was cheap. It was only like 60 bucks. I use Hinge. I've tried using Tinder and Bumble as well, but I didn't really like them very much. I'm not a Tinder kind of guy. I mean, like, I literally just deleted Tinder again this morning because it's like, what's the point? Alright, so MBL is going for Elite Skirmisher. He's actually well ahead in resources. Actually, what is Lewis even doing? He, like, rushed up to Castle Age. He got a couple of Vil kills, which is nifty. There's, like, 1 range, 1 siege workshop, just now getting a monastery. He really does need to make something happen. MBL is just going to go onto stone, though. Anyway, they are. That said, the apps all do have different purposes. The top 10% of men. I guess I'm not in the top 10% of men. Yeah, I mean, chicks dig high elo, right? No, but I don't think I've ever matched with anybody on Tinder. I probably, you know, swiped whichever the direction is to like somebody on Tinder. I've probably done around 100, and I've literally never matched with anybody. 2 more Deadvilles, and of course, this is gonna be pretty tricky. Skirmishers and some Cav Archers are here for a counterattack, but yeah, this is certainly not an easy-peasy defense here for MBL. Lewis is actually even ahead by a couple of vills, although MBL has handcard even in. Pick Mongols, no 100% Mongol pick rate. I mean, that's... Is there a bigger red flag out there? Alright. MBL should, in theory, be able to kill 1 Mangonel. Yeah. That's going to slow down the pressure, I think, enough for MBL to be largely okay. Now, he does have a fair bit of idle time. He only has 5 vills on food, I guess 6, to be fair. But the thing is, the crossbow numbers aren't really climbing very quickly. I mean, I know Aztecs have faster production, but even so, that isn't really all that great. Is he trying to bait him in? Anyway, second TC is attempted here for Lewis. Of course, he does want to secure some more gold. Putting this whole lumberjack area over. But this is giving MBL time to get those Cav Archer numbers down. He is rude? I wouldn't say MBL is rude. He's a little inconsiderate at times. But I just don't think he really thinks that much about social interactions. He is very direct. Alright, a few Cav Archers trying to run in over here. They do not have ballistics, although neither do the crossbowmen. First relic coming in here for the Aztecs player. Yeah, MBL's fine. MBL's actually one of those people who's nicer in person than he is online. It just doesn't really feel like Lewis is really playing to his Civ's strengths at all. Like, he just went some archers into Castle Age, into some more archers and some mangonels, and slowly adding in some stuff. University is going to be in here, and MBL's, all of his stone mining is going to pay off with a castle in the near future. Rape. That is wild. Alright. I mean, yes, in theory, you want to get the castle up over here, but I think castle number 1 probably needs to be in a safer location. MBL does have a lot more idle TC time. Remember, both players being a little bit derpy right there, but MBL underpifies himself a little sooner. MBL, build a frickin' castle, man! Some iron pagodas would not be amiss. Yeah, just now getting that second archery range, it really limits your offensive capabilities. Ooh, siege engineers, that's a fun one. I really love this bonus. I don't know how good it actually is, but I like it. I mean, extra range and damage versus buildings is really nice. Reducing the speed of standard archer units? I think that would just be really annoying to play with. I'd rather just improve the movement speed of swordsman to 1, like spearman, than reduce the archer movement speed more. I think that, just in terms of how it plays out and how it feels, would be a bit nicer. Anyway, Ambiel, build the freaking castle, man. Oh, danger close there. Church and CA are of course quite solid, as opposed to the gaseous and liquidy CA of other civs. That is not even a single splat. Ooh, MBL showing his micro. Ooh, oh, and Lewis is actually going to be the first one to build a castle, even though MBL was the, like, MBL literally had enough stone to build a castle by the time Lewis started gathering stone in the first place. Anyway, this shouldn't be a thing. This is all sorts of not a thing, in fact. Anyway, MBL gets the win there. Again, I just don't really feel like Lewis played to his civ very well.
Okay.
16 kills on those bad boys. I mean, if you can get it, like I said, siege engineers for your rocket carts and castle age is really, really sick. I mean, it's great for all your siege weapons. It's just like, it's really tough to afford. It's still 500 food. But it's strong, for sure. But I guess you would call that a balanced bonus, right? It's really powerful, but it does inherently delay your Imperial Age a ton. Coach, nope, not high enough elo. Them's the rules. Oh boy, guys, I am so ready to Mari my Mari. You know what, I bet... Honestly... I feel like, not even necessarily by me, but by somebody who has, like, who really thinks about AoE 2 a lot and the different ways it's played at the high level, Lewis probably could benefit from coaching from them. Alright. During a talking point, life is tough like that. Alright, Lewis could be here in the red as the Turks, as the goats are going off to the races. The goat races, in fact. In game 5, I was on my date for most of the game, so I could only come see the end where the next one. Like, I get back, I see the Spurs lose, and then I get hit with the, oh, I had a really nice time with you. Thanks for taking me out and driving me home. I don't see myself with you romantically. Not balding? I am not balding. And like she was talking about how she was recently getting out of a one-year relationship with her ex who she didn't like. And it was like, he was like such a jerk and very immature. And it's like, oh wow, I'm not those things. At least I don't think I am. Anyway, interesting matchup here. Mapuche are still a much less conventional civ. Excellent on a first date. I don't know, if the conversation goes, like, it was in the context of, like, have you been on dates recently? Have you been dating recently? Which I think is perfectly fair. I don't think that's necessarily a red flag. Date I went on previously where she spent a lot of time talking about exes, though, that was definitely a big red flag. So I think it all depends on the context. Anyway, the Mari of the Mariing is happening. But Lewis is right here with his scout. He should be fine. Anyway, MBL's gonna lose the Chompy. Oh, that's not an English saying, but you know what? It works. Yeah. LOL! L-U-L. Mari Mari. Classic. Make an outpost on the boar. I don't know what Lewis is so, like, proud of himself about. It's like his scout was literally right there. Need 3 TC Arba? What? Oh my goodness. The smack talk. But how is he supposed to go 3 TC Arbalest without any Arbs as Turks? That's the real question. Undated meaning social contact outside of work. I don't know. I'm definitely no hero. The funny thing is, she did ask to see my YouTube channel, and I did show it to her. So she could be watching me on Twitch right now, or on YouTube. Wait, you ran him with Britain's Gurjara versus Goth and Malay. Oh, 2v2. I was like, wait, what? That's too many civs. That's not too bad. Goths are really slow to get going on Arena. So I think that you have to be a bit worried about Malay. So, like, is the Malay player going to castle drop? I think that if the Gurjara's player goes light cav, and I think in this situation you probably want the Britain player to castle drop. Like, against a Malay Goth combo, I mean, it's like, why even bother playing towards your late game? So just, like, castle drop, use the Gurjara player with light cav to help develop towards the castle drop and get that down safely. Either the Goth player is forced going light cav, or in which case you're probably feeling pretty decent about things, as Gurjaras do that better. It's a perfectly workable matchup. Yeah, then you, like, castle drop with the longbowman. Honestly, you could probably, if the Malay player is not being aggressive, you could probably just castle drop the Goth player and kill him. If my bank asks me next kid of contact, you're gonna give them the stream URL? Oh boy. Anyway, Chompy runners are in. They have their extra 5 HP. I just saw the Spirit of the Law of Best Imp Skirms video. I'm honestly really surprised that he literally didn't put Byzantines or Koreans. It was like, we're not gonna worry about discounts. Which is like, what? Castled at home and then just boomed. Yeah, that's not the way to go about it. But you're always going to be, if you're not coordinating with your ally, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. Or not the best imp skirm. I actually think that Vietnamese are a very strong case for the best imp skirm because they have the best way to leverage imp skirms, which is with a strong eco and free conscription. And also the extra HP. But, like, the Vietnamese eco and free conscription bonus are perfectly set up to leverage early Imperial Agent skirms, which is one of the reasons that the Civ is so strong. Embarrassing thing in AoE right now. I mean, it's a Champy runner. It's not a Champy scout. I mean, basically, these guys are just Eagle warriors. With one more attack and a little less HP. Worse? I mean, Ambuche Champy runners are fine. Nothing wrong with this unit at all. Now, Dark Age Chompies are pretty bad, don't get me wrong. But I think the rest of the game Chompies, especially after the puffs, are perfectly fine units. He should castle drop. Bull just died to the Goth Flood. I mean, to be fair, if there's any unit that can literally 1v2 Goths and Belay, it's probably the Chakram Thrower, but that's obviously a tough ask. But yeah, I mean, it seems like your issue really didn't have anything to do with the Civ. It seems like your ally didn't really have a good game plan for the situation and didn't really communicate with you very well. You know, Chompies are chompying it up here. 200,000 we still lost? That does sting. I imagine you ran out of gold. But as things stand, Lewis has a bit more food banked up, but he doesn't have as many villagers on the resource. He has 6 on gold, though, which as Turks is quite a lot for this stage, so maybe he can still get a market and buy his way up to Castle Age faster. Seems reasonable enough. Against onagers? I mean, yeah, that's tough. Tough. Oh, hello. Archer's showing on up. Again, I'm not entirely sure what Lewis is doing. He's just kind of sitting on his butt. I mean, granted, the lane was kind of an abject failure from MBL, but since then, MBL has been playing quite well. Was able to keep his opponent back with the Chompy runners. And then, obviously, catching Lewis off guard with the Archer follow-up, getting another villager kill. MBL ahead by, what is that, 400-ish resources? And yes, there is the market incoming. So once again, Lewis is going to really try and leverage that good Castle Age time. The same way every game. No, Lewis is a really good player strategically and is super smart. Lewis is the thinking man's player. Lewis is your favorite player's favorite player. I'm not too sure on this tower from MBL. Rip that guy. I mean, he's literally doing the same thing he did in the last game as Aztecs. I mean, he sold 100 more stone in the Aztecs game, but, like, other than that, it's basically the same thing. Even the 2 dead villagers is exactly the same. So yeah, I think MBL is definitely a bit worried about that faster Castle Age time. There is an overchop there. But yeah, I mean, more gold collected here for Lewis. MBL, more food and wood, as we would expect. Yes, I have been watching a little bit of the World Cup. I didn't get to see America's first round game, although I did see that we won. I watched some yesterday. I watched the Ivory Coast and Ecuador game, which was actually really good. The Like, the late goal, like the 90th minute goal or whatever from Ivory Coast was really sick. Anyway, that's obviously a big fail. Go you instead, yeah. And then I watched a little bit of the Tunisia-Sweden game. I saw some of the Japan and Netherlands game. Yeah, that was it. That was also good. I mean, it's fun. I do enjoy watching the World Cup. But especially now that basketball's over, I'll probably spend more time checking it out. Oh yeah, I turned on the Germany-Curacao game, and like within 5 minutes, Curacao scored the goal, and it was like, oh my god. And then Germany remembered that they're Germany versus Curacao, and then Curb stomped them. But still, for a few seconds, it was like, oh my goodness. Games, oh yes, right up the block and across the street in frickin' Texas. And New Jersey. We already have established this. It's about equidistant for me to go to Toronto and Kansas City at a 9-hour drive. Or 9 to 10 hour drive. Are the closest games. Spain to 0-0. You know what? I think we all have to cheer for Cabo Verde. Good old little Cabo Verde, man. Lewis is literally doing the same thing as he did last game. What the heck? Also, why did he build this tower? A girthy trip, yep. Anyway. More upgrades coming in here for MBL is still sticking on the 1TC, though, so it's going to want to find some way to get some damage done. Certified MBL base? Oh yes, very eggalicious. Monastery coming on in. Got the crossbow blob, you got the skirm blob. And really it's going to be about catching those mangonels out of position, but with the archer numbers heavily diminished, this is a cute little counterattack from Lewis, but MBL will just send his own units back and be totally fine. Iran will be received tonight? I have no idea. I would hope that Iran is as well received as any other country. Show that good old American hospitality. I literally have done nothing ever to change my graphics settings. I haven't changed them since 2019 when DE came out. Siege Workshop now coming in over there. MBL's got a monk on the way. We have a random Bolas Rider. But Lewis is 7 bills ahead, so although he is behind economically for now, and MBL does still, I guess, have better eco upgrades, in theory, Lewis should be catching up and surpassing his opponent eventually. What's MBL doing? I don't know. MBL things. There's a mangonel coming in. Inglewood. I mean, I guess that would make sense. Nice clip there. LA has a huge Iranian-American population. I don't think anywhere in America has a big Kiwi population, but yeah, there are a lot of Iranian-Americans in LA. Probably the weather being similar. Tijuana? Oh boy. Yeah, that's rough. Bolas Riders are fine. I guess, what's the argument for making Bolas Riders right now? MBL's still only on 1 TC. I guess he needs a unit that actually can apply pressure. And the Bolas Riders are just going to be better than the crossbowmen as the Mari Maris. So I think, yeah, that makes sense. but I feel like I'd rather see MBL just add TCs. He's still ahead by 1,000 resources, despite the 10 villager deficit, and having significantly better eco upgrades, I'm sure, is no small part in that, and the fact that he's just had a more efficient eco all game. But yeah, looks like it's gonna be for a castle. How on earth did that not get killed? Oh my goodness, that is a very good micro from MBL. Or as they say, lucky micro. I think that's my favorite insult I've ever gotten, was lucky micro. Decent hits there. But yeah, it's gonna be 3 dead mangonels. One more shot, nope. Hello, Omnomicon. Lucky micro. I don't remember the context of that. Does anyone remember the context of me being told I have lucky micro? Which, should be fair, is probably more accurate than saying I have good micro at any point in time. Skirmishers should move in a little bit forward to apply some pressure. We still have 1 mangonel out. Decent hit there onto some archers. I don't think I've ever been accused of being a smurf. Okay, castle's gonna be attempted. Now is the hour. Riders of Rohan and all that stuff. Decent hit there. Oh, Bolas Rider's going to come in. Beautifully done there from MBL. He is going to lose his mango, but... This game felt exactly like the last game. Except instead, MBL had the 1 TC and Lewis had the 2nd TC, but the eco dynamics were exactly the same. Not the civs or strats involved? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, probably involved a monk rush. A castle? I don't really know. I mean, it feels like in this matchup you just want to play a late game. As Turks. I have played MBL before. He cleaned my clock. I think the last time I played MBL, he actually outpost rushed me, but was too polite to do it in my face. So what he ended up doing was just building a bunch of outposts in his base that I only saw after the game had ended. No, I beat a 2K2 player recently, though. I was pretty proud of that. I did lose to Development, who is a very good American player. 2K3 to 2K4. I think if I just played smarter, I would have won, but I was kind of dumb. Oh yeah, what does this mean? Okay, this is the 2K2 high 2K4 player I've beaten. What on earth does this mean? 1904, 12, 15, 25. And then you drop to 957? Does that... Are they, like, comparing 2 Smurf accounts or something? Or did he have his elo intentionally dropped for, like, hacking or something? Yeah, ads are basically the worst. Thanks, G359. Thank you for the 3 months. But yeah, I'm wondering, like, how exactly this happens. Like, how do you instantly go from 882 down to 1048 without there being, like, a solid line? You know what I mean? Like, that feels like Microsoft took action of some kind. No idea. Trading teleport? Evidently. Anyway, blue Lithuanians for MBL. Lewis gonna be the red Portuguese. I think MBL is 6-5 right now versus Lewis today. How did MBL win the last game? Because Lewis played the exact same style as he did in the previous game, and it ended in the exact same way. My family account? There's okay, that makes sense. Elo to compensate. That's true. But yeah, that probably has to do with the Smurf account. Yes, he in fact did another forward castle for literally no reason. And they play Smurfs. Ah. See, I only have one account. Technically, I actually have 2 accounts. One of them, I had to have a second account because I literally needed to make one to do my early access for the Three Kingdoms DLC. I don't know why I had to do that, but... yeah. I have Ornlu, which is just Ornlu backwards, but I have no multiplayer games on that account. Who's smurfing? Like the 2K2 to 2K4 player that I managed to beat. I was proud of that one. Campaign achievements? So my campaign progress, yeah, that I've gotten that reset a ton of times. But I actually checked and I actually got it restored when switching patches one time, so I have literally no idea how that works. It's very bizarre. I've never had those deleted, Dragonstar. But yes, it's very annoying. Especially the campaigns that get deleted are the ones that I don't want to play again. Like, I've had to replay through Victors and Vanquished, like, multiple times. And then it's like, okay, I'm glad I didn't have to play Alexander again, because that would have been very annoying. Don't want to play Smurfs? I honestly don't have a good handle on the whole Smurfing situation. I hear it's really bad, but I'm high enough elo that I don't really run into Smurfs ever. But, again, I can't intelligently comment on the situation. Yep, I did too. I have proof. Battle for Greece compared to other campaigns? I have full, lengthy reviews on them. Both of them, Battles for Greece and Alexander the Great. Personally, I think that the narrative and storytelling is very good. I think that the actual gameplay progression and the civs and the setting really kind of leave much to be desired. New campaigns launched ASAP. Yeah, some of them are really tough. Some of the new ones, the Last Chieftain ones, were really, really tricky. Like, what was it, the second Muisca scenario where you had to conquer the different villages? That one took me several tries. Yep, that was against Monoz. I thought that Mameluke Siege Onager would kill Bengalis. It did not kill Bengalis. Playthrough? Nah, that's what they're there for. Anyway, obviously nothing terribly impactful happening so far. Just some scouts and spearmen. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't watch my playthrough videos until they themselves beat it. Kill Bengalis? That's what I thought, but it didn't work. Get ready for really? Playing campaigns is I feel a very different skill set. If you remember, or the Porous one. The City Builder one I thought was a really cool idea that ended up super clunky, and I ended up having to cheese it really hard because maybe there was something bugged and I just got like attacked super hard, super fast. But in terms of creativity, I really liked it. The escape scenario, again, it's like you really have to lose a couple times to figure out how exactly it works before going for it. The achievement's tough, though. Agincourt speedruns, you like clicking Henry V to England. Siege is good? Yeah, Siege is very good. But yeah, I mean, I like tough scenarios that you really have to figure out, right? You have to use your noggin. 120 lots of bills blew my mind. Well, let me tell you, if you watch any of my campaign videos, it's just me booming until I have, you know, a ton of villagers and then patrolling across the map. Henry to the transport. I mean, they did change it a little bit, but yes, that is literally the speedrun, is just clicking Henry and then clicking to the transport. You just run right past everything because Henry's super tanky. Yeah, Joan of Arc 5 is famously brutal. Seconds you can optimize probably has to do with how exactly you're clicking. You know, Tay and Chazby and those guys are certainly very good at optimizing things. Yeah, people have said that, like, oh, I had like a much easier time than other people did when playing the same campaign, and I don't really know how that happens. Anyway, Lewis not coming in with an archery range, just, you know, doing the things. Problem solving? Maybe. I really don't know. I don't really watch many other people play campaigns. Multiplayer? Yep. But that does make the few times when you can actually go through like siege onagers and stuff like that pretty darn fun. Oh. That's a lot of scouts here from Lewis. They have no upgrades. Let's say MBL made it work. MBL did get 2 villager kills, so I mean, he has found a way to find some value once again. That said, Lewis, 9 farms. He's got his Portuguese forage bushes. MBL has 12 farms. So this might actually be one of those situations where MBL is able to find a way to click up to Castle Age a bit faster. Same. MBL is a very cruel king. Work in the fields. I always feel like the units in AoE that have the shortest lifespan are any villager that was foraging and then has a farm built around the mill. These vills have an absurdly high death rate. And a big old wall here from Lewis. Honestly, probably could have just walled to the edge of the map like this, but probably hasn't scouted it like that. And that's one thing I feel like has changed since AOC, is that players just scout a lot less in terms of like figuring out all the different wood lines as to how you wall your base. Probably has to deal with pushing in deer. And the faster up times. Both of those things most likely. Anyway, scouts are going to go right after the archers. We're going to try and dodge the arrows and going to be largely successful in doing so. Good fight there for MBL. He's also grabbing Wheelbarrow. Again, something that most players don't do, and what we've seen in all 3 games so far today is that MBL has been getting that upgrade quite quickly. That said, this still is far from the end of the world for Lewis. He's actually slightly ahead in resources. Snake, it's a snake. Oh, it's a snake. Badger, mushroom, mushroom. Apparently that video found its way into, like, the archives of the UK for, like, being, of significant artistic merit. To, be awarded the honor, which I think is pretty amazing. Cool stuff in 2026. I'm an old school internet denizen, man. What video? The Badger. The Badger video. I mean, Then the first scout, especially if you're my first scout. Oh my god, 17 years ago. I am old.
When we hit the
I don't need this frickin' ad.
I was worried we'd be stranded for hours.
Oh, there's some great ones. If you think there's literally anything else to that, there isn't. There's no rhyme or reason or logic to it. It's just a bunch of badgers doing calisthenics. Oh yeah, there's some good ones. Yeah, actually, is that like younger millennial or older Gen Z brain rot? Is that our equivalent of brain rot, guys? Yeah, I mean, he has a bunch of good ones. Oh, Llamas with Hats is an absolute gen. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I've seen that. Born in 1987, millennial brain rot. I mean, I saw it when I was a kid. I was born in 97. I am the true zillennial. But it also is about, like, the age in which you were exposed to the internet. Like, I had some older cousins who were, like, big onto the internet, geeky, nerdy stuff, so I was exposed to it at a pretty young age. I played it when I was 4. I started playing Age of Empires when I was 4 in 2001. Played William Wallace. Because I was watching my dad play it. And he's like, give it a go. So yes, I really have played Age of Empires 2 my entire life. Well, almost my entire life. Yep, the Duck Song is another classic. And it all, oh, absolutely. Nope, 4 is actually the youngest. I have a few memories of playing Age of Empires. I also remember 9/11. That was also when I was 4. (2000, 2001), yeah. There is some other, like, formative memories. But yeah, I definitely don't remember anything younger than 4. So old now, yeah. Into my brain, perhaps, yeah. But yeah, I am literally the last generation that will have memories of 9/11, or the youngest generation that has memories of 9/11. Anyway, I don't know why there is a pause. One min sorry, says Lewis. He's watching Badgers, for sure, for sure. Up. Well, gonna clean up all those units right there is Lewis. He's gonna get a second TC down faster. Getting a crossbow and bow saw. He's still got several scouts alive. And we're gonna try and head in the third one, but because he only has crossbowmen, it's gonna be kind of tough to defend this. On repeat while playing? Oh, yeah, that's cool. I never really had, like, my own music and stuff like that until I was maybe 10 or 11. Before that, I mostly just listened to what my parents did. Lego Racers. Lego Racers was a jam. I played that actually with my friend semi-recently, like a few years ago. Man, Basil the Bat Lord does not mess around. champ born CNN. Oh, jeez. That's crazy. Tabavalia. BDD 8, 9, 10-ish? Yeah, yeah. I actually remember the TV, the old CRT TV that my parents had that I inadvertently broke as a little kid. Yeah, that I also had to have been around 3 or 4 or something like that then. Like, I was poking the on-off switch like an idiot, and then I ended up breaking it. Anyway, MBL does have 12 kills right there. That he got when I was busy not paying attention. He has a lot of idle time, though. Still causing that for Lewis as well. So this is just getting very awkward. YouTube will be banned for under 16 seconds? What? You mean under 16-year-olds? Wait, that's wild. I mean, back when we had the computer lab with, like, the old, Apple computers. The Macintosh desktops. Like, we would just do all sorts of random stuff. And then get into trouble. I remember I was in elementary school and we'd all be, like, Googling the most vulgar thing possible to see who would get caught. With sticky keys? Yes, yeah. Anyway, Vil counts are even. Just goes to show the difference in idle time. Lewis's macro has been very good despite all the pressure. Elite Skirm and Leather Archer armor coming in. I mean, MBL probably feels pretty good, although the resources collected are actually quite even just because Lewis has been doing such a good job of keeping the gears of his economy moving. The kids version? Is there the YouTube version of Kids Bop? A nice subscriber. Almost there, Diptop. Thank you so much for the 67 months.
Getting closer to being a nice subscriber.
Still able to apply pressure here as Lewis. The populations are dead even. Banned as well. If anything, I think it would make the most sense to ban YouTube Shorts. 6, 7, oh yeah. Like, ban TikTok, ban the YouTube Shorts. I mean, like, if you're really trying to moderate children's content, you would think that the focus would be on trying to get them into long-form forms of media that require greater attention span and thinking. Yes, book, reading, also things I advocate. Osaw just now coming in here for MBL. This knight's not really going to do a whole heck of a lot. The skirmishers are here out in front. Both players with ballistics, so these Lithuanian skirms are going to do a great job of finding value. Lithuanians going crossbow? Yeah, we live in dark times. Mangonel is out just in the nick of time. First relics coming in for the Lithuanians player. Of course, it's all about being careful. But yeah, just more archers. Ooh, nice hit there for Lewis. There's the CA. Yeah, come on, man. Both players mining some stone. MBL will be dropping his first castle. Now, the thing is, I actually don't know if you want to go for the Lechai just yet. Critical thinking and measured approaches? Yeah, those are the things I advocate for. Which is good, yeah, that's true. Fourth TC coming in here for MBL. And it looks like he's thinking about the Imperial Age. Lewis wants another forward castle, but unlike the last couple games, he actually has protections for his villas this time, so good on him. But yeah, those Lithuanian skirms are so good. Like, being able to force fights with skirms is one of the most handy things out there. Thumbring coming in for the archers. But yeah, this faster imp is going to be very important. I mean, this is a great castle from Lewis, for sure. I mean, it's literally in the middle of his opponent's base. But, MB. 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 We need to have a talk. Guys, I think we need to have a sit down with MBL. It is this TC, actually. Lewis on 6 Mangonels, but still not up yet. Oh, he canceled it. Okay, so he straight up canceled it. Another victim of cancel culture. Now you get hill forts, by the way. Like, this is objectively the right time to get hill forts. I mean, so that ended up working out very well for Lewis. "18 kills on those archers, 11 villagers. Lewis is caught up in the eco KD. And MBL has very few vills actually on food. Lewis is going to click up in just a moment. His own eco is really getting quite smooth. 17 kills on this castle, by the way, 9 of which are villagers. Another castle coming in here for MBL. Gonna try and trap those units, but, I mean, that's a lot of mangonels. There are 4 Leitituses over there. I think they're trapped. Yeah. Alright, well, that's gonna be almost all dead archers. Yeah. That loop around, definitely not worth it for Lewis. Oh, it's hill forts! Hill forts! Now, these Lechai have no blacksmith upgrades at all. Just bloodlines, and the 2 attack you get from relics. Oh, it's the peasantry! It's always the peasantry, guys. Why is it always the peasantry? Man, look at this difference in idle time, though. That's wild. But those mangonels are going down. Lewis is still a little ways off from the Imperial Age. I mean, MBL's eco is a complete disaster, though. Another mangonel snipe. Scores are quite even. But Lewis's eco is going to be getting a lot better in the not-too-distant future. But he's got nothing here at home to defend. MBL trying to add another TC, but his big issue is food income. He's lost a lot of his farming infrastructure. Lewis has very little stone, so his ability to repair castles is quite limited. MBL going to add another one of those, and now MBL's in this really strong spot in front of Lewis's base. Does not have Bracer or Chemistry for the Skirmishers, so they still deal very little damage to the villagers, but they'll still do damage. Oh, and that Mangonel pops out at an interesting location. That's going to be a good one. I mean... oh, no! Bait him in! All right, that's a... at least he kills the Skirmishers, does Lewis. More archers are coming this way. MBL with another castle. He just got castles for days. Lewis, I guess, is going to try and switch into some knights, but he's still going to be missing a ton of upgrades for them. Now MBL's really going to try and get those farms down. Still around a 25-vil lead here for Lewis. Still, the castles for Lewis are eventually going to go down. And that's going to leave MBL with, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 castles? Oh, that's a nice one, though. Able to snipe the trebuchet. Now the double bombard cannons are coming in. Splat. Still, it's really hard to win a late game Arabia if you have no castles. But yes, Lechai are a silly unit. Yeah, now MBL's back on 41 vils. His eco upgrades are quite solid. He's got 3-to-1 relics. And of course, 3 relics with the Lithuanians is enough. Basically, 2 is the bare minimum, and any relic you get on top of that is just, you know, icing on the cake. Yeah, 2 relics is the minimum to get 20 attack on your Elite Latus, which is, again, a very important break point, I guess you could say. Anyway, knights are coming in. There are very few Lechai here for MBL. Those Trebs have to be very careful. The knights don't have great upgrades, but they're getting there, and MBL, because he spent most of his stone on castles, doesn't really have much left with which to repair. That's going to be 3 bombard cannons. Redemption's coming in as well. I mean, MBL, you gotta repair, man. Still a little bit more time before you can even consider converting. Lewis has a slight score lead. But yeah, MBL gonna run out of stone here in just a moment. Redemption's now in. MBL's gotta do something. That monk's not gonna have a good day. Oh, he's trying to... No, come on, MB. Need to keep the castle alive, man. Oh, there you are. Yeah, still very few blacksmith upgrades. Castle's already taken almost 8,800 damage, but there's still nothing to kill these bombard cannons. And now Lewis going to try and go for a castle here in the middle of the map. And that castle will fall. Bracer just now coming in for MBL. His eco's been so heavily damaged, he's been having a tough time actually getting any Imperial Age upgrades. Even though he's slightly ahead in food collected, he's also spent a lot more. And now relevant upgrades are coming in. Some Lechai are going to come for a counterattack. Lewis has 4 bombard cannons, is getting siege engineers, and now the Arbs are coming forward. 2 relics apiece, and the last one is also going to come in here for Lewis. And there's tower shields. Both players going to be certainly getting some eco kills. MBL also does need to get Ring Archer armor as well. But Arb Siege, classic combo. Castle way in the back here for Lewis. Chemistry's not going to be denied, right? Hey. Nope. So how do you approach this if you're either player? If you're MBL, you're still trying to get to your Lechai blob, but you're just so far behind in technology. Gets one bombard, though. And in 10 seconds, these skirms are taking 1 damage a hit from the Arbs. Obviously not very impressive there. You're also missing the last armor upgrade if you're Lewis. Have Elite. Oh, Elite late. No. Again, MBL's big issue is he has almost no tech for his cavalry. He doesn't have the resources for it. Anyway, MBL gonna try and force this back. There are villagers coming forward to repair, but they're not there yet. Gonna be 1 dead mango. Decent hits there, and MBL will likely be forced at least back a little bit. Now, look at this double blacksmith. The upgrades are gonna start to come in here for the Lechai, of which there are now 18. They're still missing husbandry, they're still missing elite, they're still missing a ton of upgrades, but MBL is now, for the first time at least, working in that direction. Arquebus is going to be very helpful, of course, here for Lewis, though. He does have that extra relic, and he's got some extra stone income. That said, what I don't love from Lewis is that he's not really teching anywhere. Right, it's just more bombard cannons, more arbs, more things that cost gold. And he's still missing a lot of eco upgrades to boot. Again, latest upgrades, not very impressive. That said, it's still a latest. And that is going to be a huge cleanup. And now MBL going to be 100% in the driver's seat this game. That is massive. But MBL has literally 0 stone. Might be able to snag 1 cannon for 4 Lechai. That doesn't feel great. Krebs are going to be brought over. Still 5 bombard cannons. If only the driver's instructors. Indeed. MBL still has tons of gold. Okay, now Lewis is going to make a switch over into the light cav because, you know, bombard cannons are light cav. What else do you need in AoE 2? Remember, no husbandry still for MBL, and I don't know if he even has a stable. No, he does have the stable here with which to research it, but he probably just doesn't realize it. That's going to be another very nice kill, and both players... Actually, no, Lewis will be on more castles, but MBL keeps it alive for now, and of course, +4 defense is huge. Lewis should get at least one of the trebs right there. May lose a bombard. Yes, he does. That's huge. Husbandry now coming in for Lewis, actually. Does keep that cannon not alive. Now we have some stables coming in. More raids from the Lechai here to the west. 15 kills, 14 of which are villagers. Same deal over here to the right side. And MBL's actually, yeah, there we go. He's at Elite Latest right now. So, still missing husbandry, still missing iron casting, but he will then otherwise have full upgrades on these bad boys. MBL sure is out of stone, but he does have the power of the market. And there we go. Elite is now in, but he does need iron casting to get to that important 20 attack threshold, because remember, that's literally the difference between 2 hits and 3 hits against these Arbalests. Now Lewis is going to start raiding. MBL is at max pop. Lewis is not quite there just yet. Lewis did get his eco upgrades eventually, though, so better late than never. Res collected very slightly in favor of Lewis. Res destroyed also likely in his favor, yeah. But MBL's going to have the better army now. Media is also going to have iron casting in just a second, which, like I said, is uber important. So he's only missing husbandry, which, again, MBL probably just doesn't realize he's missing at the moment. And there's another dead Treb. Larry I mean, doesn't he have contractual obligations to do so? Every tool, you mean good skirmishers? They have every tool they need to counter archer sims, as in some very good skirmishers. good. Well, they actually have completely generic bombard cannons that don't even get the last. Well, they don't get siege engineers. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful from Lewis. Well, that's hard to argue with. Oh my goodness, that is huge, 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 huge for Lewis. Oh my goodness, all trebuchets are gone. Administrative waste of resources, yeah. Alright, there's husbandry here, but that is very, very good for Lewis, and he is now going to be able to camp the middle of the map with his arquebus bombard cannons. So now we have Latus plus Skirmisher versus Light Cav plus Arb. Again, one more relic here for our red player. That said, map control is not very good for Lewis, relatively speaking. He's got sort of this middle area, but it's going to be nigh impossible for him to collect stone otherwise. And even if Leichai don't ignore building armor, they still have a ton of attack, so they still kill TCs very quickly. We're not at the Phaedoria point yet, but we should be getting pretty close to it. No, Skirms don't have any moments versus Bombard Cannons. They deal 2 damage to them, though, with full upgrades. Bombard Cannons have 5 Pierce Armor, Skirmishers have 7 attack. So it's actually Hofnitsa and Hindustanis that actually get a big bonus because their Bombard Cannons / Hofnitsa only take 1 damage a hit from Skirmishers. So that 5 to 6 is actually a pretty big Pierce Armor threshold. Anyway, Lewis still has a very healthy score lead, but if we just sort of look at how this map is going to be playing out, I feel like it's going to be actually a little bit tricky for Lewis to find a way to close this one out. Because as soon as he has to bring his Bombard Cannons forward to push, which he's doing right now, I feel like he's just going to open himself up like crazy to the power of the Leichai.
Speaking.
I mean, still, both players doing a very good job of sniping a lot of vills. Now MBL has a slight resources advantage. But Lewis has no gold. MBL should be running out very soon. Yep, just a little bit left over there. MBL does have a bit of stone in the back. That's actually enough stone for 1 more castle. 652. And that's actually all the stone remaining on the map. Is right here at the back of MBL's base. Another Phaedoria? Does he even have 1 in the first place? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't have 1. So the singular is Latus. The plural is Leichai. That's how it works in the Lithuanian language. It's like nobleman, essentially. Low-level nobleman. Alright, Bombard's here, pelting away at the buildings. Architecture coming in as well for Lewis. Some Leichai raids are on their way as well, but... I mean, Leichai are a good raiding unit, but they don't have a lot of Pierce Armor. Remember, only 1 Pierce Armor. These guys are still, in theory, kinda sorta glass cannons. So what MBL's going to want to do before he's completely out of gold is to go ahead and make sure he can switch into some Winged Hussars, as that's obviously going to be a very powerful unit here for Lithuanians in post-imp. Coach for the last few days? I don't think I'll be able to get another 160 elo. I don't think I'm quite that good. Nah, you know, memeing aside, I really don't have any interest at this point in doing the whole streamer thing. For some reason, I feel kind of soured on the whole experience. Brent? No, I've been 2K before. No, it wasn't that. I just like, I like being 2K, man. I wanted to get back up to 2K. Oh, we're gonna see some herbal medicine, dude. Classic. Anyway, the game is slowing down. This is going to give Lewis time to switch over to some pikemen. MBL is the one with the big population lead, but because he doesn't really have much in the way of siege, as in one trebuchet, literally he's pop-capped. Going pro, I definitely do not have the talent to go pro. MBL just rounding out some of his eco upgrades over there. But now it feels like Lewis is kind of stuck. He's gonna run out of wood before MBL does. His army also costs a fair bit of wood. He doesn't even have crop rotation. But it feels like as soon as he pushes away from the castles here, he's gonna get completely mauled by MBL's army. Planning stuff? I'm sure he is. Dragonstar's a smart player. Ooh, but this could simply be a case of MBL being out of position, which is the last thing you want. And that castle's gonna go down. No way you can save it. Way too many cannons. Lame Boars, there you go. I mean, that's only 2 castles right now versus 3. But Lewis still has so little in the way of other map control. Masonry coming in here for MBL. But this has given Lewis the time he's needed to switch into halbs. Ending at the front, because this is exactly where Lewis wants to fight. So MBL's trying to fight somewhere else. Use his mobility. That said, as soon as Lewis goes away from the safety of these 2 castles, then his army's going to be much worse in a head-on engagement. Now, there is still wood left you can take for Lewis. It's not like we're at that point of the game yet. But it's really more a matter of how do you ever do so safely. Although, again, I still would like to see MBL actually make a switch over into Winged Hussars, at least get that tech down, because you're probably going to need it. All right, 92 to 80 army, but obviously this is all of Lewis's army, whereas MBL's army is kind of split across several different locations. Repairs are coming in right there, and that is going to be some dead trebs. More ranges coming in over here, some light cav raids from Lewis. Both players chilling at 200 population. Again, like, MBL's army is a lot better. He just can't actually fight if his opponent is defending with castles. Lewis, on the other hand, really struggles to move out, because if he's away from the castles, then he'll get surrounded and killed by the giant army from MBL. So it's a really tough game to play for both players. And either can absolutely win it. Engage? He doesn't have that much incentive to do so. Wait, why does MBL have 13 vills on food? What the heck? What? Guys, why does MBL not have any vills on food? But yeah, this is why you need to play the map control game if you're MBL. Lewis, if you prevent this wood income from happening, then Lewis is just gonna run out of resources. Even with one more relic, it's still not enough. Good snipe there, for sure. And that's gonna be a lot of dead arbs, actually. Now, MBL is gonna struggle to replace his skirmishers, though, because he just happens to have very little in the way of food income. But if he can get that sorted, it'll be alright. Well, this is, as the kids say, a thing. There honestly just isn't even enough space around the castle to repair. That's going to be a lot of dead dudes, but MBL will be losing a fair bit of Lechai in the process. He's already lost around 10. How much ground is he giving up over here? Not that much, and Lewis's population is also dropping. Still, I don't love that. I mean, you're losing a lot of gold units here as MBL. You're trying to stretch out your opponent and force some gold unit kills on the other side, and that is happening to a degree. But, I mean, I guess you did snipe a couple of TCs and a castle. Lewis is just going to immediately replace his starting town center, though. We're an hour and 13 minutes into this very interesting game. But Lewis is still gathering resources, right? So he's fine. Still only at 36 Lechai. MBL on 87 bills to 112, so obviously big advantage there for Lewis. More TCs for MBL. That's one way to boost your food income. Get those Lithuanian TCs down, baby. Relics are also right here in, like, the middle of Lewis's base, so those aren't getting tossed out anytime soon. But yeah, it feels like MBL really needs to rotate around this way and prevent Lewis from taking those resources. That's so huge for him. That said, I mean, this is almost all halves at this point. Everything here is in some way countered by skirmishers. Bombard cannons are the least countered by skirmishers, but in huge numbers, skirmishers will be able to do all right. So this actually feels like a not winning play from Lewis, other than the fact that MBL has a gajillion skirmishers at the back of his opponent's base for some reason. I mean, sniping the castles, that's one win condition here for Lewis. MBL only has the one left after this one. Can he keep that alive long enough? This is a thing that's happening back at Lewis's base. And the repairs are there as needed. That castle's going to go down. Yeah, Lewis will lose some halves, but he doesn't care about that. At least I think the castle doesn't go down. Lewis, I think, just needed one more volley. And perhaps that is the distraction from MBL working. But yeah, that's huge. MBL also probably should have had hoardings and architecture at some point. Also, by the way, I don't think either player has guilds, and Lewis doesn't have crop rotation. No guilds in yet, and no guilds in yet. Two TCs left here for Lewis. He's only on 77 bills, and he never built a single Faderia. And yes, we are kind of getting to the point in the game when you really do want to get the Faderia. No, Lechai do not ignore building armor. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, is that MBL is going to want to make sure he can pick up Winged Harsar before he's completely out of gold. It's not a cheap upgrade, but obviously a very worthwhile one. I mean, Lewis will have one TC there to the south, with only 4 bombard cannons left. So again, despite Lewis having the score lead for quite some time, it feels like MBL's done a better job of recognizing his win conditions. He also has double the villagers killed. Don't want to be doing that though, MBL. And even having a few arbs at the back really, really helps. That's a good fight, I think, for Lewis. Literally none of the bombards died. That is huge, actually. And you can see that it's just as soon as Lewis, you know, it's like he's got a tiger by the tail. As soon as he moves, he's in a terrible way. Now, if you look at MBL's vision, he does no idea about that TC to the south, and honestly, he really should be looking at it, because Lewis has to be gathering wood somewhere. Meanwhile, MBL shouldn't be running low on wood anytime soon. He's got plenty of map control for that. Yeah, this is kind of a bit of a young fool move, as the Vietnamese villagers would say. Oh, is that... not another dead bombard cannon. Just destroying some infrastructure there is MBL. Lewis's population not looking so hot. And this is almost all of Lewis's wood income right there. Lewis only has 5 light cav, 34 vills on food, obviously not great for sustaining light cav production, and now that the skirmishers have discovered this area, well, they've at least discovered the lumberjacks, and now this is going to be rough. Yeah, really good game, very instructive game. All about understanding wind conditions. Yeah, obviously that TC is going to go down very quickly if these guys stop attacking a random lumber camp and actually focus down the town center. I mean, it's not like doing these raids is a bad thing from Lewis. It's better to do them than to not do them. It hits you back, yeah. Exactly, so that's why we just chill and cast games. But this is a good one to cast. It's, like I said, I think very instructive. How to play late game. Understand those win conditions. 128 kills on these bombard cannons, by the way. But now, Lewis has 6 working villagers, guys. And funnily enough, he's the civ that really doesn't even need many villagers. He just needs to spam the Faderias, but that's just not how Lewis plays AoE 2. All those farms not working. 5 working villagers now for Lewis. MBL really should have picked up guilds. MBL really should have picked up Wing Hussar. I mean, it's not like it's a perfect game from either player, but this is really, really tough for both players, so... You know, it's never about playing perfectly. It's about playing better than your opponent. MBL just destroying more infrastructure. Okay, there's the first Faderia coming in. Literally 0 working villagers. No, MBL needs to wait until he messes up Trebs before he pushes those castles, which he can do because now he's got all the wood control. Lewis can only gather wood really, like, right here. I don't think he has anywhere else that's safe. There's light cav coming in, so eventually you're going to find your way to the Winged Hussar, so MBL's getting to where he needs to eventually, just destroying some houses and stuff. Got some scoots on the way. MBL banking up resources, Lewis not doing so, obviously. Just gonna very, very slowly try and creep his way forward. Oh yeah, MBL did just claim the score lead. Still around 20% behind in resources destroyed. Well, I mean, this has been the whole characteristic of late game. It's just Lewis being impossible to push, but also unable to push. But MBL's done the right thing in terms of just, you know, you just cannot attack this area, this screen. So just attack literally everywhere else. And Lewis just doesn't have access to enough resources at the moment. This I don't like. Don't throw away your late try like that, man. MBL still not able to afford Winged Hussar. It is a really nice bump. Let's remember, because you don't have Blast Furnace, your light cav really are not that great. Light cav are very much a unit that benefit from that upgrade. Guys, Lewis has nothing in the queue. He's a 0 TC gamer. These castles have 96 kills, and the bombard cannons have 152. So that's over a quarter of Lewis's total kills this game are from these 3 castles and from these 4 bombard cannons. Anyway, now the Trebs are coming forth. That's going to be able to put some real pressure on these buildings. There's only one, I think. Yeah, MBL says, nope, can't push this yet. And that could very well be true. MBL just needs to make sure to not waste any of his expensive gold units. Remember, Vaydarias generate very little wood at this point. So, this is a wood game right now, even though there's plenty left on the map. It's just there really isn't any left that Lewis has access to. And he also has 46 lumberjacks working away happily here. How much is a Vaedaria? 300 gold, 350 stone, I think, these days? More Trebs on the way here for MBL. There's Vaedaria number 2 for Lewis. This is just a ladder game. Okay, gonna try and go for this back castle. Yeah, Winged Hussar would be really nice. Bombard's gonna go for it. Oh, I think they're gonna get it. Yeah, that's exactly what MBL needs to not do. I just queues up a monk here, and okay, he lost 1 bombard cannon. MB. That's like the one thing you don't want to do is throw away trebuchets like that. That said, Lewis is out of wood. Vaedarias generate very little of it. Guys, again, this is literally the only thing you don't want to be doing right now as MBL, is throwing away these gold units for nothing. Literally out of wood to repair bombard cannons there for a second. Now, Vaedarias are much weaker than they used to be, remember? They used to have, like, a lot of HP, you know, which makes sense for a big building like this, but nowadays, it's a good amount of HP. It's more than, like, an archery range, but it's still not gigantic, and there's a lot of surface area that can be attacked. Vaedaria there is going to go down. Lewis at 57 pop, which includes his Vaedaria. And there's the GG called. An hour-and-a-half game. MBL able to take it in the long one. That was a tough game, though. Really tough one to close out, and if MBL didn't play as well as he did, he could easily be in a situation where he just runs out of resources, and then Lewis has an unkillable army. I mean, Lewis did what he could to try and win that one, but MBL simply too much map control. Good stuff, good stuff. I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I return. I return. But alright, guys, help me out. Football fans. What's the whole deal with extra minutes? Like, it feels like the game just ends on vibes. Where it's like, instead of just stopping the clock when there should be a clock stoppage, it's just, okay, we'll add some time at the end, but also we're not going to really closely hold by it. Because, like, one of the games yesterday, it was like +6. And then it was like 7.5 minutes before they actually ended the game. It was so weird. You'd think that, you know, you just have the time that ends. There can be more stoppages and extra time. But again, like, why don't you just stop the clock and then continue the clock when the stoppage ends? I feel like that would make things so much less confusing. I mean, that's what literally every other sport does. Alright, we'll cast Yo Cospa here. Good puzzle. I mean, being able to stop and then continue? What is this technology? This alien technology? Yeah, my dad's watching it downstairs. What the heck just happened with that? I thought Spain were supposed to be the heavy favorites. Hydration breaks are so stupid. It's so American sports coded where all of our popular sports have very natural clock stoppages. Little corgi. I am not playing with you right now. Yeah, Yokos was going to start in 38 seconds, and that'll probably be it for me today after I'm done with it. Not too much point in me streaming these days, but, you know, still want to do it for a little bit every now and then so I don't completely get forgotten by you guys. I mean, my other games? But, like, why? Uh-oh. What just happened? Okay, there we go. Very needy corgi. Kind of makes them Portuguese. But they were a Spanish colony. I thought. Right? The Canary Islands are Spain. The Azores are Portugal. Cabo Verde, I thought was also Spain. You automatically resub, yeah. What's Dutch? Suriname and the ABC Islands. Like, no, there is no Dutch in Micronesia. Yeah. I mean, it was one of the few places that's like a settler colony into country that actually is, there is no native population. So Cabo Verde's population is a mix of Africans and Europeans. Amron. Oh my goodness, is it the double lure? Okay, so it is part of the Portuguese. Okay. The Lusosphere. The Dutch didn't quietly defile? Oh no. Portuguese, who do I favor in that matchup? It depends. Depends on the map. Depends on the setting. In general, I prefer Portuguese. Conks are like a, you know, where there's a whip, there's a way kind of unit. Like, they'll just win you games. Missionaries are also, I think, really good right now. I mean, I don't think they're good. I think they are too good right now. But Portuguese are better in almost every other way. Balgara. Spanish are a little bit better on Nomad, but that's like a top 4 or 5 civ versus a top 7 or 8 civ. I don't really think there's a whole lot of daylight between them. Exactly, Kuri. Kia. Yes, Spanish are definitely a better BF pocket civ. Are they? Portuguese are still a better flank civ, I think. Yeah, probably. Nam. I mean, organ guns and arquebus bombard cannons are certainly better than conks in the long run. But, yeah, it's a little tricky to say. Better arena flank civ? Pre-missionary buff, I would say no. No post-missionary buff. Maybe. If missionaries ever get nerfed, which I think they probably will sooner or later, I'll probably be going back to being Portuguese favored. Ooh. Ooh, scary drush. Ooh. Guys, I'm a great caster. The scary drush got a villager kill. Oh, almost got the long kill on the capybara. Oh, archery range is coming on in. Haspa's taken the opportunity to get himself fully walled. Portuguese pocket, not on arena, not as much as Spanish for sure. Although I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Arena Pockets feels like it's still kind of the Wild West in terms of what civs are super good on it and what strategies are super good on it. Also, 3v3 and 4v4 are very different, because in 3v3 you almost always want a Paladin civ. Like a good boom into Paladin civ like humans. Whereas in 4v4s, it feels like that's where you want an infantry plus siege civ, and then like maybe even a camel civ thrown in there. Like a Hindustanis or Gujaras. Up. Well, not able to get any more gold for the time being. Oh, trap him in! Oh, wait, no, there's... I thought that was walled over there for a second. Well, militia are forced back for now. They will be power walking to safety. Yeah? And Cosmo will be actually going for the Drushfast Castle. Not something we see very often. Does need the buildings, though. I mean, it's still tough to go for a Drush FC these days in terms of resources. You're usually spending a lot of time walling. There's the blacksmith. And where is the market? Oh, it's an archery range. Why would he go for an archery range? Arrow love. I mean, I guess you're probably a little worried about the Saracen archers punching through your walls. But the thing is, if you're going for this fast castle in the first place, it feels like it's one of those situations where it's like, if you're gonna try and defend and make skirmishers, why are you even bothering to go FC? You're not gonna be able to do anything with it. Mikasa is still slightly ahead in resources. Power of Celts and all that. Guys, remember when civs with good economies had bad tech trees in general, or at least difficult to use tech trees, like Celts and Vikings and Persians to a degree? You know, oh yeah. I got that, what, a couple days ago? Mostly find it amusing. No, DBA coming in, padded archer armor as well. But again, like, what are you even going to do with Castle Age? He's got a lot of vills on gold. You have no market to buy food and wood with. I don't think you're going to be able to add extra TCs, at least not easily. It's not like Yo's especially slow to Castle Age. Well, I mean, what is Yo doing? No second archery range and no forward villager. Ah, well. Just as I say that. Forward villager. Again, you can't even afford Bodkin and an elite skirmisher at the moment. Like, again, I just don't really know what Cospa's going to be able to accomplish here. They're gonna start with the stable. We'll likely add a siege workshop afterwards. And okay, he's gonna add a TC. But still, you don't have any Castle Age upgrades for your skirmishers. Yo is now in Castle Age, and if he buys some resources at the market, he'll be able to at least get one of Crossbowman or Bodkin, and it's gonna be Crossbowman. We'll, of course, need to see a defensive siege workshop for Cospa, and a Celt siege is certainly going to be quite helpful. There's a knight that's going to be out, and I imagine, yeah, the vills are going to be forward further still. And this is the downside of going for the stable and +1 defense, is that you don't have the resources for Bodkin. There's only so much you can afford all at once. We'll likely see a siege workshop over on that hill. Oh, he doesn't see the TC. Oh, that's weird. Must have been like a tile off. Now E-Skirm is coming in. He does have Bodkin as well. Res collected still basically in a dead heat, but it should be getting better over time for Kasva. And I still don't see a defensive siege workshop. There's Bodkin coming in here from Yo. Still, the TC will help out. No kill, actually, on the crossbowman. A few days ago, probably. Not that I remember, because, you know, I barely remember what I had for breakfast, and I had breakfast, like, 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Those vills are going to be harassed for sure. Monastery coming in. A conversion onto the knight would be huge, because you don't have the monks there to convert them back if you're Yo. And on top of that, Kasva has no better way of killing mangonels at the moment. Stalled out. Was that Celts Saracens? Oh, it was Celts versus Saracens. That's right. Yeah, it was on that mega random generation. It also had Yo in it, if I recall correctly. Except Yo was Celts in that one. Actually, wasn't... Yeah, it was Kasva too, I think. Second Mangonel out. Alright, the monk is there, and that prevents the knights from running on in. Alright. It is a very tough spot for defense, but we could ask ourselves why Kasva chose to set himself up like this in the first place. Oh, he has to delete a house there. Third Mangonel coming in. I love that the units here for Yo were able to give his Mangonels some more room. Obviously also forcing a ton of wood being spent on repairing. Mega Trick, that hasn't worked for years. They got rid of that. Oh no. Oh my goodness gracious. Mercy me. I have the Vipers. Oh. Oh, that monk is also in trouble. No extra mangonels around the way. We're going to have 4 downhill mangonels against that TC. Super straightforward here from Mr. Yo. Indeed, the TC is getting eaten. But it's the Celts player's TC who's getting eaten this time. The irony. Yep, I like how Yo just keeps on giving himself more space. Another monk is being trained, but I mean, this is still so tricky. Bloodline's coming in here for Yo. He's getting his own monks at this point. He has the forward monastery. I mean, Kasva still is ahead by 9 vills, but Yo is far from all in here. You can see the res collected being even really tells the story. Oh, gets it. You're fine taking that trade if you're Yo. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Yo has a huge eco, but it's a good enough eco. And now he's with 9 vills on stone. He's not going to be too terribly far away from another castle. Or a castle in the first place. Kasva does get at least a 1-for-1 trade here, but this is obviously nowhere near enough. Kasva has 0 vills on food. That's not great. Oh, the Mangonel's right there to be eaten by the knights. Good control from Yo. Who doesn't love a good forward outpost? Oh, he's going for the monks. Honestly, that's a little greedy from Yo here. Gonna convert the high HP knight back, and I mean, technically the populations are very close. But, I mean, come on, Kasva has 1 knight as his only army. Yes, Dash. Another TC! There we go. Pointy Boy KGS with the 58 months. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Arf, 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 says Dash. Hold on. The Arphalest upgrade. There we go. Alright. I guess I could stream a little bit longer. What do we do? What to do? Do we cast Kasva versus Lucho? Or do I stream... Yo's not playing right now. But I don't want to lose Elo. I'm 2040 right now. Mine's too high? Yeah. Honey Badger? No idea. Guess we can cast Kasva versus Lucho. Have fun? Oh, cool. Alright, Lucho's going to be here in the red as the Tataros to the northeast, and to the southwest in the blue as the Huns. It will be Kasva. Good old CA matchup. A matchup where it's Cav Archer v Cav Archer, and you're not screaming about it. Maps are fairly open as well, only 3 wood lines, and they're pretty far away. Mapuche FC into quad forward castle. Now that sounds interesting.
Hazır.
Yeah, just pushing in some deer, not a chickeny map.
Salam. Emriniz.
Salam.
Timu.
When's the next tournament, by the way? Really does feel like a quiet June. Wait, what is Linghe Asian Duo Invitational 2v2? What? A special event, not with any actual pro players. Oh, they start at 12 GMT, that's why. Start early. But they start in a couple days, so maybe I'll cast the playoffs of that. We'll give it a go. And wait, nothing too crazy happening so far. Kind of forward houses here for Lucho, but it's not really that big of a deal. Both players content to play nice and chill here in the early game without trying to do any laming shenanigans. Just the 3 on wood. Just 2 on wood for Cosmo, so we could be looking for a very quick uptime. Armindu. Got a mill coming in there. And that is going to be for a barracks. This is pretty fast. Could be for the pre-mill drush. It could just be for men-at-arms. And... yeah, looks like it will be for men-at-arms. That said, Costco's gonna be up nice and fast. 18 pop with Loom. Only sent the 2 bills onto wood early on. Pushing in all of his deer. Gonna have a very, very clean Dark Age. Barracks first in barracks before mill, you mean? It's the only way you can click up fast enough. You can see that the default men-at-arm build is clicking up on 19 population. So you literally just don't have the resources to click up that fast if you don't build the barracks before the mill. And it really only works on deer maps, I think. I don't usually see it with 3 on wood, though. But yeah, it's a very good build from Lucho, for sure. Yeah, this thing is very hard to do if you have a chicken map. Because usually you have to mill the chickens. Meanwhile, barracks there for Kosva, just playing it close. And Kosva will be marking Lucho's militia as they cross the map. And this is where that very quick uptime comes in. Because if you're going to go for scouts against a men-at-arm opening, you better be faster with your scouts than up to feudal age with the men-at-arm player. Because one of the worst things that you can do as a Scouts player is go up on like 20 population against 19 pop men-at-arms. You just don't have the army for it. You're too slow. You can see the archery range is coming in now here for Lucho, but this is a very well-refined, aggressive build. Cannot afford double bit axe, but you are just getting a ton of units out very, very quickly. But it works both ways, because you're able to go up fast as Kasva, you're able to go up fast as Lucho. Kasva's better able to afford scouts even with a quick uptime than he would be able to do so if it was a chicken map. So the strong early builds work both ways. Getting the poke in with the spear is certainly quite helpful. You do have to be extra careful about the Tatar high ground. Oh, nice hits there from those men-at-arms. You really cannot afford to take any extra hits. There's not going to be a spearman coming forward, and this is just basically your stock standard aggressive opening here from the Tatars. We're not like the worst civ ever at doing it. You can at least delay your farms a fair bit with your longer-lasting herdables. Although they aren't really like a peak aggressive civ in the same way that, you know, Huns are, for instance. And also keep in mind that Kasva was able to get the double bit X upgrade, which is very helpful. 2 spearmans here. And there's the archery range coming in from blue. Not really the best scout hits there. But you can see right now, Kasva has run out of food. He can't really saturate these forage bushes anymore, so his ability to make scouts is basically non-existent. You need to keep the villagers churning. But also now you're going to, switch into skirmishers, but that's also going to be almost impossible to afford. Look at this, 12 more villagers on food right now for Lucho, and that's going to be a really big advantage for him going forward. The farms are starting to come in, but right now it's just going to be difficult to make villagers and army at the same time. You can see some idle TC time accruing for our blue player. Archers are now here. The villagers are going to have to try and flee, but that's going to be at least one dead vill, I think, able to sort of sneak through that actually very well as Kasva. You're on 5 scooter bugs, and with that one spearman going down, scouts will arrive and start to snipe a villager of their own. And not perfect micro kills both of the low HP scouts there very quickly. That said, this is still going to be some guaranteed villager losses, and that does hurt. And this is not the most effectual use of your army ever, just smacking away at a barracks. So Kasva now with a 3 villager lead. Still has some forage bushes. No gold yet here. Gonna be one more villager. Now, all of the scouts, except for 2, are gonna go down, and they're both kind of low HP. But 4 uncountered, or I guess unresponded to villager kills in the early game is a huge advantage. Looks like this is gonna be lumber camp number 2 over there. Barracks is getting a little bit low, and now a defensive watchtower will come in here as well. The Tower of Watching. And it also looks over this stone, so you can, like, throw it out a mining camp and put 2 vills on stone if you want to add extra TCs in mid-game. No lumber camp here, though, so that's a little bit awkward, and you're going to try and get a blacksmith. Now, keep in mind that it is no fletching in for either player. Blacksmith just now coming in for Lucho. He tried to get some farms down. His food count is pretty solid. But those 4 vill losses are quite rough. That said, he still had a more effective economy overall in terms of work time, so he is ahead in terms of resources for now, although that won't last forever. Does get a 1 villager kill on the counterattack. And it's actually going to get padded archer armor first for some reason. Don't know. I mean, some people like getting it first. Especially with how good micro is these days, you'd think that people would prioritize the attack upgrade so that you can match range and, you know, dance back and forth, but it's going to come down to preference. Meanwhile, there will be a stable from Lucho. And just trying to dive bomb his opponent there. There's the 1 men-at-arm left, which is definitely pretty annoying to deal with, especially as there is no fletching to do the 2 damage to it. Good micro on both sides. We're looking at 13 farms to 7. Forge bushes are going to be depleted quite soon, and also very important to remember is no double bit axe for Lucho.
Timo.
He also has 207 stone. Don't know why you mined 7 stone, but why not? And so Kaspa is doing just fine. With the archers now leaving his base, he'll be able to flex those 2 extra villagers that he has, and should be getting a little bit ahead in economy. 2 villagers plus double bit axe, mind you. Still, he got a lot of vills on gold and not a lot of spending of that gold. So the eco-efficiency isn't quite there, but still more villagers on food overall. Okay, that double bit axe upgrade's very helpful. Still no second lumber camp, though. And now the scoots are out. And there is simply nothing to defend against them. Get some nice downhill hits with the Tadars, and that's going to be forcing Kaspa right on back. Really could have switched into archers sooner, most likely. When I say most likely, he absolutely could have switched into archers sooner. Make yourself less vulnerable to this type of counter. This will be keeping Lucho in feudal age longer, but you can see his army quality is a lot higher. Kaspa now with his own stable in. Well, I mean, he's at his stable, but you know, there's more extra scouts coming in. That's the point. Now, the tower's here, and that's going to make it pretty tricky to push, but not impossible. This is still a really good area to try and harass a lot of your opponent's resource collection. But now we have 2 ranges producing archers at once. But behind this, Lucho's going to be the one who's going to be likely clicking up to a faster castle age, and this is all down to eco-efficiency. All of the fighting that's been happening at Kaspa's base has meant that even with fewer villagers, Lucho's been working more efficiently. This number is extremely important, and you can see it's 20% better for Lucho, just in terms of raw efficiency. And that's, again, with fewer villagers and no double bit axe. More archers are on the way. You do at least have 19 bills on food right now as Kaspa, and that's going to be 19 farms. But that's actually a lot of farms for the feudal age, especially if you're going to make a cav archer transition. You could easily end up in a situation where the farms all expire, and you have a ton of food in the bank, and then not enough wood to really sustain CA production in the way that you want to. Like, back in the day in the Hun Wars, it was usually around 16 farms that you make and no more. And then it's like 3 to 4 range cav archers, and then you end up with very few farms. But House is going to be taking a different approach entirely. We will be getting bloodlines and scale barding armor, so he's still investing into scouts, in which, I mean, that is certainly you using the farms that you've invested into, so it does make sense from that perspective. But it does mean that you are simply not getting Castle Age this millennium. That said, Kaspa, who's been on the defensive basically the entire game when it comes to actual army, is now going to launch a counterattack. His units are well upgraded, but look at this. Lucho is walled by the time that he needs to be walled. This is all houses and whatnot at the front of his base. Scouts here are going to try and pounce on the archers, but there aren't too many of them. No +1 defense, though, so the scouts do get the kill 1 hit sooner. And this still feels like it is pretty good for Lucho. Now, he isn't going to be able to leverage the crossbow timing, most likely, in the way that he wants to. I mean, in an ideal world, you have these archers right here as you hit Castle Age's Tadars, get the free thumb ring, and then you just wreck face. Still doing a great job of drawing his opponent's army away from his base. He's going to be on his own second range in just a second. He's going to hit Castle Age, likely grab crossbow and bodkin, and then switch into cav archers. I mean, I think that's what both players are likely to do here. But one dude is going to be up to Castle Age, and one dude is stuck in feudal age, so obviously huge advantage there. And never met on the ladder? I don't know. Maybe we play at different times. Alright, crossbow and bodkin coming in. I know! We also didn't meet in any of the tournaments recently either. We were in different groups, I think, in USA Cup and in TTLC. Like, same division, but different groups. Anyway, crossbow is in, bodkin is in, and of course free thumb ring is in for Tadar, so that is a trinity of excellent upgrades. Ballistic's going to be in here as well. He's going to continue with crossbowman production for now instead of switching into cav archers. But still a minute off from Castle Age. This is looking excellent here for Lucho. As Casa has very little with which to defend himself. 30 villagers on food. On triple ranges, but going triple range skirmishers is one of the least exciting things you could possibly do when you're in a worse spot like this. Double Bidax finally in, and again, Lucho, without that all-important upgrade, able to maintain that eco advantage. Emo. Another Vil gonna go down, make that 2, and an archer. Oh, what on earth is this, Kasfa? Oh no, elite skirmisher and leather archer armor coming in as well, but he is simply not defended. Those archers are having a rough time. And right now, Lucho is getting so much value. I mean, I always say that it's about what Utar can do and not what Utar can't do. But even so, this feels like kind of a ridiculous long shot. Crossbowman here with ballistics, all upgrades except +2 defense, which obviously isn't that big of a deal. And this is going to be it. Simply aren't enough skirmishers left, I think. Tar can die here. I mean, I love me some Tarkans. Tarkans are fun, but yeah, not really the situation you're looking for. Also, you've had to get everything into archer upgrades so that you can't even make a cav switch. And honestly, I feel like this is a huge issue for a lot of the cavalry-based plays, is that because everybody invests into skirmishers anyway, or like crossbowmen or skirmishers, you know, ranged units in general in like early Castle Age, it feels like you just can never make a switch on a lower eco into cavalry like you used to, because it's like, well, there simply isn't a way that I can play early Castle Age and not get bodkin, or elite skirmisher, or crossbowman. Oh my goodness, you're now just building extra defensive watchtowers. That's painful. Almost 2,000 resources behind. Gold shaft mining even coming in, wow. Weren't as prioritized, but yeah, I mean, oftentimes, like, I'm sure Cosmo wants to be going... I was saying he's more heavily into cavalry, but he has 3 ranges. I have no idea what he's even wanting to do, but the point is, because you often have to get +2/+2, and elite skirmisher, and crossbowman, often you need ballistics as well. It's like, you can never make an early Castle Age transition with 2 stable knights, or camels, in the way that you used to be able to do. Or even step lancers, it's really tough to do that with. It's just those cav options are usually insufficient. Or rather, insufficient unless you also have the support of ranged units. Anyway, more Bills getting killed. Game's still looking completely terrible here for Cosma. Second TC for Lucho. Siege Workshop coming in. He's on 3 ranges. He's switching into CA. Not really a whole lot for Cosma to do at this point. You are very unlikely to win a game of AoE 2 these days when you are 2 minutes and 40 seconds slower to the Castle Age. You can just see that Lucho, other than the initial scout attack, which killed 4 villagers, hasn't done any pressure this entire game. He's simply never been able to go to the other side of the map. And yeah, the 4 villager kills is really nice, but it just goes to show that 4 villager kills don't really mean much when your own economy is a complete disaster at the other side because you're not walled and have a smaller army. Mangonel coming in. Guys, you usually, as Huns, don't want to be building 7 watchtowers in your base. as a rule. Ow. Not entirely sure what Cosmo's trying to accomplish at this point. Lucho's going to click up to Imp in a moment. I mean, I guess you get the Mangonel there, which is nifty, but again, you're not far at all away from the Imperial Age right now as Lucho. He's also got good eco upgrades at this point. A 4th archery range. Oh no. Guys, I don't think this skirmisher switch is going to be quite exactly good enough. 3rd TC coming in. Okay, so he doesn't want Imp quite yet.
Beating back.
And okay, does still click up to Imperial Age. Gonna have that 3rd TC. I mean, you're so far ahead that it doesn't really matter what you do at this point. If you do even anything remotely sensical, you will win this game as Lucho. So just keep making Cav Archers, and you'll be good. See, here still missing both Ballistics and Thumb Ring.
Awesome.
50% more villagers, 50% more resources. Or not quite 50%. You know, a bigger number. 15% more efficient economy. That is wild. Able to make that work. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Maybe I'll stream the 2v2 thing in a couple days. Maybe. We'll see. Kind of hard to find reasons to stream, so we'll do that where we can. But thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.